Hello, welcome to day 5 in the PHP web framework. The previous day, we were looking at implementing a comment system. That was day 2. Part 2 of the comment system. This is part 3. So in terms of, okay, so we got the Trello board, comment system, what we're doing, and on the notes we put nested comments printed out. We wanted to get that done. Post comment for a post ID and reply to a comment. That's pretty much the commenting system done. Once all of that is done, one thing I have added, or two things, one major thing is I was just messing around with something. If we go to the libs to include, I enabled Bootstrap in here, and then if we go to commenting .php, the view itself, I just added this particular div, which is an alert. And the reason I did this, I'll show you, is that what happened was, when I was developing a client's website, I was adding an alert. And what I accidentally did was, I did this. So instead of putting the alert here, so on the same level, I put it within each other, and I put quite a few. And this is what the result actually ended up looking like. And I thought, well, this actually looks pretty decent. So if you just bear with me, you'll see where I'm going with this. Some random text, put another one here. Okay, so save that, refresh. It looks like you've got nested comments or something nested, and I thought this looks good for a commenting system. Just obviously you could remove the background color, add a bit of extra text in terms of maybe the user, the day posted, that sort of stuff. But generally speaking, that's a pretty decent nesting system. That's the way we're going to do the nesting system. And the other thing that I added was this. With this, just gets the comments for a parent ID, aka this particular parent, and this only runs this code if it's the current nested level is equal to 1. Okay, but what I was thinking was I was having trouble wrapping my head around. I have not saved it, so let's refresh. Yeah, I was having trouble wrapping my head around how to get the comments nested infinitely, because at the end of the day we have a nesting level which by default is set to 1, aka you can just do one comment on a post or a video. But if, let's say, this was 5, this would be the equivalent of, let me minimize this, it would be the equivalent of this document that we created in the first page. It would be the equivalent of this, having the initial comment, then up to 4 nested responses. But I'm just trying to figure out how to actually get that printing on the front end. So, and obviously you can set the nesting level yourself. You don't have to go into this commenting class. Realistically, the developer shouldn't, unless they want to add stuff or modify stuff or update stuff, if they're just using the actual functionality that we're offering, they shouldn't have to go into the class itself. So yeah, actually I was wondering, what's the difference between self keyword and this? Do they essentially do the same thing? Pretty much from what I can gather, but I want to know for certain. So if there is a difference in using them, if not, self refers to the type of class, whereas this refers to the current instance of the class. Here's an example of correct usage for non-static and static member variables. So if we have a look at this, is for the static member, you would do for non-static. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm gonna do $this then. I'm gonna do $this. Yeah, it should realistically be, unless it's static, it should be $this. Okay, that's fine then. And self just refers to the actual class itself and not the object instance. Good to know. Always is good to know. $this. And one here. Okay, actually I want to check out that link one more time, just to make sure. Okay, so self really should be only for static members, and $this should be for instances of itself, because this, well, is not static. So if we go back, refresh, it still works fine. Okay, that's fine. Now in the commenting system, we got this loop, but this loop, let's just say if I were to comment out this particular if statement right here, refresh, you get all of the nested comments as well. This nested comment would be within, let's have a look, can't quite remember. So that is nested post, parent ID of 2 should be, so it should be with this one, so it should be indented into here. Parent ID nested post, okay, parent ID, this parent ID, so okay, should be nested within that one. And third level, that should be parent ID of 5, so it should be, yeah, so they should be nested in here, this should be nested in here, and this should be nested within here, which is nested within here. So it obviously wouldn't appear in that order. So we need how to do it. Could have a function that calls itself, almost keeps calling itself. So if we have function get posts $data, okay, so if we were to, for example, in here do get posts, and I'm going to pass in $row, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting the right data, so I'm just going to print out print $row, $data, sorry, refresh, that is looking correct. Okay, correct window, that's good. And now what we want to do is from here we want to get print, I'm going to echo actually, I'm going to echo $data ID. No, it's parent ID I want. That's fine. We're able to get the data. I also want to get not just parent ID. I want to get the current nested level. One. This is within here, this is within here, this is within here, that makes sense. And now what I'm going to do is an if statement, so if current nested level equals, no, is less than max nested, that should be $comments get max, I think it's get max nested level. And the beauty of once we've done this view, you'll be able to just modify it, we'll be able to modify, you'll be able to modify it mainly just from the front end point of view. And if you do want certain extra fields, columns in your database for the commenting system, you can add them, update the class system, and just update it slightly, because the core structure will be done. We'll have an unlimited, or theoretically the ability to have unlimited levels within our commenting system. It'll just work then, and all you'll probably just have to do is modify this HTML and the classes and the styling. Everything else we roll there. Some of this we may actually abstract into, you know, what's it called, into the class, but for now I'm going to leave it here. Okay, so this is get max nested level. So what I'm going to do is echo out more. This is a method. I think it's something like global dollar comments. Call to member function or no. Undefined variable comments in the global that you got to do. PHP global variable in function dollar globals. The W3 School websites has been working for me properly today. I went on it earlier on and it looked proper. Yeah, it's just down. Actually, out of curiosity, if we go to, let's say, the Twitter page, do you get any information about why it's down? But that's alright. Homepage is now okay. If I go to W3 Schools, okay, it's back up now. So dollar globals. With dollar globals. Now what I'm gonna do? Dollar globals. Dollar globals. Refresh. Global variable in function. That's what I did. I did add that line. But why the hell did this not work? Dollar comments. Okay, but it's still not working. Call to a member function get max nesting level on null. Is it saying that is null? What happens if I were to do dollar comments like this? And now just comment this out. I'm going to echo out this, see if it actually... Oh, the max nesting level is only 1, so if I were to go to, let's say, okay, this is essentially the way you would do it, so I think we should replicate this essentially. Dollar comments, we pass in the variable, let's say 5, so you can have 5 nesting levels. More. It's good. But apparently that works if I pass it in. For now, let's just keep it like this. So what this would do is call get posts, and the data itself would be would be now this is on something that there can be more nested posts. There may not be more nested posts. So what we need to do is $data equals $comments get comments for post ID, get comments for post ID. The post ID is going to be $data parent ID if $data count, or if $comments count. If the comments count, then we need to do get posts $data no. So we need to loop over it, do we not? So we need to do for each. Do for each if there is something. And now we need to do $row $comments. See if there's any errors first before we try and proceed. Got no errors, that's good. Got no printing out. But what we should do, I'm just gonna echo out just, I don't know, 1. Doesn't even get into here. Therefore it's not getting into here. It's getting into here, I'm positive. It's not getting into here, so $comments. Where did I do the count again? Did I do it in $row? That's $row current nested level. We've got a count method here. Greater than 0, but that is essentially what I've written anyway, or the result should be the equivalent of that. So if it goes into here, that means you can have more nested levels, comments, blah blah blah, and if so, we're going to get the data for it. You know what, I'm going to do print _r of $data, make sure we're actually even getting anything back. Would appear no, that we're not getting anything back. Get comments for post ID, parent ID. Okay, I'm going to print this out now. Make sure we're getting value back for this. We're getting the correct value back for that. See what happens if we get, obviously we're not going to get, we should only get 0 back for this, but let's have a look anyway. So 0, because apparently there's no data being returned for the parent ID. If I put the parent ID as 0, we're still getting nothing. So this is failing, this method. Get comments for post ID. Data 2, rename this as data 2. Nope, yeah, don't think that would make a difference. Still want to know why global $comments was not working. on null. Call to a member function on null. I'm gonna Google that. Use $data. Ooh. That looks pretty interesting. Use $comments. Refresh. On line 11 it doesn't like that. Did I do it incorrectly? According to this I've done it correctly. No way to hear fireworks in the background, sorry about that. I can't access it. I wonder if I'm on the same issue as this guy. Global that. It might actually be because if we go to the core, the app, technically it's within a method, isn't it? It's all within a method. Hence why it ain't working. Hence why it needs to be passed in. That's fine though. That is... oh, I can live with that. But why is it not getting anything for this method right here? You got it here. Let me just essentially assign that here. See if oh yeah, that was just hitting an infinite loop because obviously we weren't doing the parent ID. Get comments for post ID. Sorry about that. Get comments for post ID. Now I know we're very close to it. I know we are. The theory is you would go into here. And this would just loop through the root ones, and obviously we will probably have some sort of method like this, and then this would say get posts. Actually, that's something. Realistically, this should only be within this. And that shouldn't change anything in terms of the error we got. So this would only do the current nested level as the root nested level. It would do get post, and if obviously we're not printing out any data at the moment, we will be probably in this method. If the data, what we could do in create an array and return that, we'll have a look. If the current nested level is less than the max nested level, that means the potential for more nests. Then we do $data. We get if there's any more comments for a post ID. For a post ID. That was the issue. No, we don't want it for the post ID. I think we want it for the ID. If we go back to commenting, We got it for the post ID. That's irrelevant. For the parent ID, that's get comments for parent ID. No. For user. Yeah, what we need is get one for just the regular ID for ID not just the ID. Oh yeah, obviously this is no longer using, it isn't using this method, it's not bad, it's no longer. It's still not going in here, but so if it goes within, let's say, number 1, is it even, obviously it's getting to each one of them, because actually let me put an echo here. This should be printing out 3 times, or twice, sorry, twice. That's good, it is getting to it. So if you hit this post here, this first nested post, within that method it gets the parent ID of 2, should match it with this ID, get posts get posts, no, it is for parent ID, my bad. It is for parent ID. That doesn't make sense, 'cause at the end of the day, if you go in here and you get no, there is something that I'm just messing up. You should be getting them. It shouldn't be post ID. It should be parent ID. That messed up. Instead of parent ID, it should be based on ID. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere now. So within this one, the new post, which had a ID of 2, there's only this particular one. Yeah, there should only be the one post. What I'm also going to do is, actually, is one being printed out? Yeah, it is. That's good. It's being printed out twice. That's good. I'm going to comment this out for now. I'm also going to put a break line. So echo break line. So if we gain comments for parent ID that match this ID, that makes sense. What I don't know what the hell I was trying to do before. What we wanted to actually do is get comments for, okay, yeah, so if we're on this post, which is the first one of a nested post, which is this here, we want to get all of the posts that have its ID as their parent ID. I was trying to do based on the post ID, and then I tried to do parent ID based on parent ID, but Now, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yes, I could end this video now and be happy. I'm not gonna end it yet. Still want to do a bit more, but I'm happy with the result that we've got. One second, let me just get some water. It's over here. Okay. Just a handkerchief. So, my theory is now that I think if I were to grab all of this, I'll just copy it now, and if I were to put it here, and if let's say I were to put instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it from here. I'll put it inside of Sublime, and instead really do need this in here. You know what, I'll leave that there for now. If I were to do echo pardon me, I want to change these to single quotation marks. Single quotation marks, okay. And if I were to put a div here, and inside here, if I were to merely put, if I were to get dollar description equals dollar data description, and I thought if I were to whack this into here, no, I want to put the ending quote over here, and now if we were to rerun, I want to stop printing it out because that is, well, messing crap shit up. We got nested levels now. That looks to me pretty correct. I'll get rid of this as well. Obviously, we're gonna figure out the best way to refactor this code, whether it's in this method or somewhere else. But we've got the core sort of nested level system, from what I can see, done. So if I have a look in here, this is a random post which has an ID of 1. There's one that has an ID of 1, which is parent ID 1 nested post. Then within that there's a third level post. Okay, so what I'm going to do is duplicate this and just say parent ID 2, parent ID 1 nested post 2. So this theoretically should, that is exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted. Yes, that is so good. So happy that that has worked. Okay, so we got that. We could put, obviously, you know, all of our HTML within here, but I just don't feel that is the optimum way of doing it. Because in all fairness, if let's say we comment out this, we comment out that line as well. We'll just get nothing now, because obviously we're not printing anything out anymore. And I'm going to get rid of this. I want to start just getting to the core code that we would need and how much we can actually abstract out. Because could we potentially abstract this out into a method? I mean, a class comment, a method in the classes system. If so, then fantastic. If not, then well, no. I'm actually thinking about a cake. I'm gonna have some cake tomorrow. Okay, ignoring the cake. Because obviously this is just dependent on the way we're going to be pumping out the code, what's dependent on that. Whereas nested level is universal. Comments, universal. The data, and getting more comments, universal. All of this is pretty much universal. I don't know whether this or not can realistically be abstracted out. Oh, no, I'm going to leave this in here actually. Now I want to figure out how to do the HTML stuff. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do something pretty darn cool. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a pretty cool geezer. What I'm going to do is create two methods called function commenting start $data and then function commenting end $data, and here we would do commenting start $data, and then here we would do commenting end. So we wouldn't even touch this method, just make sure it's still working. And then we would actually put this within here. The reason we're sending the data into the ending part as well, we don't know what the developer is going to want. We don't need it because realistically for us, all we need is this. But what I'm probably going to do is, actually no, I'll leave it in this sort of system, but it will depend on the user what they want to do. Because I might actually even just remove this code from here. So I'm going to say front end code for beginning of comments, beginning of a comment, Technically it is for every single comment, including responses. Front end code for the ending of a comment. Now if I were to just cut this into here, if I were to get this, whack this into here. Okay, we got a problem on line 19. Okay, still good. And honestly now what I'm going to do is merely implement this into there. So I'm going to copy that. I'll actually whack it into here. Actually, you know what'll be easier if I go into here. I do search for apostrophe, find all, No, I've got to search for double quotation, find all, delete, and put a single quotation. Sublime is an amazing text editor. There's no reason to use a text editor like Notepad++ anymore. Now you're thinking, why don't I use it for this? Because I'm doing it on a more project base. I prefer something like Brackets. I think that's like in my opinion, at the moment, the best alternative to Sublime, or in addition to Sublime, for projects, where especially meaty projects, where Sublime is as great as just a quick text editor. I see this as more of an IDE, and I think it is considered more of an IDE. This is an IDE, integrated development environment. Because you might be thinking, why am I explaining this? Because I'm gonna guess that some of the viewers probably aren't as knowledgeable as some of the viewers. So certain stuff in here will be explained, whether it's related to the code or not. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this so far. So I want to get the username. So $username equals whatever this is. $user. I need this from here actually. And I need to get this. And is this gonna mess up as well? Undefined variable $user. Damn it. Darn it. Again, we don't know what the user intends to do, so we're going to put it in the ending and the start. If somebody can point me in the right direction of sorting this out instead of having to pass all the variables in, because I just can't seem to use them for some reason, and I think it is because this technically is within a method somewhere else. So this should now get rid of the top error. That's the post. $9.68 now. And I'm guessing this is going to be an issue. No, it's not an issue with that. Didn't put a comma. Okay, that's fine. This hasn't, haven't done this yet. So $username. If I were to whack this into here like so. I'm so excited to see this work. And we want to assign this to a variable called $time posted. Okay, this can be $description now because we already got it. We can get rid of the PHP tags. This is current nesting level crap. Don't need this anymore. Good stuff. Shouldn't need this anymore. And for this actual method, I'm actually gonna have it outside. I'm gonna put $button equals. Now I'm gonna put that within the if statement. So first of all, I'm gonna put $button equals that. Now I'm gonna put $button equals and instead of $row, I need it to be $data. And we need to pass in comments as well. yeah, definitely need a better system than this, because in case we did start adding more, you know, variables and whatnot, we would definitely need a better system than this. Okay, so dollar button, I should, my theory is be able to replace this with that now. Okay, it's almost done. Undefined variable, line 17. That is sick, that is. That's some sick ass shit. So the nested level is free for this particular one here. We've got 1, 2, 3. If I were to change this to 3, theoretically, that button no longer appears because the user is no longer allowed to comment any further. If I were to put a 2, that comment entirely should disappear and those buttons disappear. That's exactly what we wanted. And result. Obviously, these buttons do nothing at the moment. That is user dependent functionality. Pretty actually, no, in a way it is, in a way it isn't. What I'm gonna do for this video, it's almost been an hour, so I'm very happy with the result. Actually, very happy. What I'm gonna do is actually, let me get rid of this. So we got this. Now, if I can get rid of this bad boy. I don't like that method, get posts. I think it should be called something else. Process posts. Process. Or like loop posts or something other than process. Anything other than get posts. Because we got a get method within that anyway. This is awesome. Less than 100 lines of code in this file, but obviously we've got all of this comment system. But that's the beauty of it. Once it's done, you can just willy-nilly use it however you want. You won't have to rewrite any of this stuff for your specific website. We won't have to either, because it's a win-win for everyone. Okay, so I'm happy with that now. The time actually probably appearing. Yup. Okay. Don't save that. So within GitHub, let's see what GitHub was saying. Nested comments printed out. Post comment for a post ID. I actually need to get going now. Going to see the accountant with my dad at the cinema. But what I'm going to do for the posting comment for a post ID, that is simply put. You would have like some sort of text area at the top. You just have the one text area and a button saying post, and you can post, and that is as simple as that. And then it will appear here. We're not going to have any sort of Ajax in there to have any sort of dynamic comments being posted. So you will need to refresh the page, and that's what we'll actually do. That's the way we'll show the errors as well. But again, that's user specific, that is, and that is more front end. So we're not interested in that at the moment. At a later date, this framework, I have no doubt, will become a PHP web framework and become something else. For now, we're calling it PHP web framework. At a later date, it might become Sonar web framework. It might become just web framework. I think that's what it was called initially. And then reply to a comment. That's going to be able to reply to each individual comment. Obviously, this one wouldn't allow it. And what we'll do to keep it simple, each one will have a text area, because usually what you have is some sort of button that says reply or respond, and then the text area appears. But we're not going to do that. Again, that's more front end related. That's how you want your website to work. I mean, your front end to look. We're now just going to have a bunch of text fields there, and we won't have one here. What we'll also do is have checks in our commenting system, commenting class, that checks this response. You're responding for a particular ID. Is that ID a what is it? Not a valid ID. What's the word I'm looking for? Is that a, what is the word I'm looking for? Is that can you comment on that particular response? AKA, is it on the max level or not? Because the user could, on the front end, just add a bit of the response code there. We want to prevent that. So I'm actually very happy with the progress today, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get anything meaningful done, but we did. And now to actually just upload it to GitHub, because that is important, so you can check it out, because especially considering we have a working applications, so you can take a look at stuff. So htdocs, PHP web framework, and if I open in Finder, if I were to get rid of everything in the code, yep, those are the only 3 files we changed, that's fine. Day 5 code commit, commenting system part 3. So we might be able to get it done in part 4, but part 5 definitely. So if I sync that should sync in the next few seconds or so. Yeah, that's fine. Now if we go to the GitHub page, I need to actually save this. Let's see if this messes stuff up. It might. No, it's fine. GitHub is pretty sick, to be fair. Code. Make sure it's properly synced. If we go to views, home, commenting, got all of this good stuff. And then within classes, commenting, that hasn't indented properly, but I'm just going to say that's GitHub because it looks okay on here. Is it? Okay, I'm happy with that. Okie dokie, that's good. Yeah, that's the end of day 5 really. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in day 6. If obviously the source code is on GitHub, you can check that out. Actually, there's a link in the description, so feel free to check that out. If you have any inquiries about the code, about what we're doing, about this project, anything, feel free to ask on our education platform, sonarlearning.co.uk, or in the comments, or direct message us, Twitter, or any way that you can reach out to us. Also, I was going to say, if you want to help contribute towards the code, that'd be fantastic. Feel free to add some commits, and we will check them out. As long as they're decent, we'll accept them. As long as ruining the project, that's fine. And you got any suggestions in terms of what to do, anything, feel free to suggest. It's all on GitHub, so you can just put in the notes to do stuff like that. But if there's something you want to specifically mention, that's cool. Also, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a comment. And as usual, thank you for watching, and yeah, I will see you very, 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 very soon.